Okay, I call to order this Hildebran Town Council meeting. I thank everyone for coming out tonight, and we will begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. Joe, will you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A review and adoption of the agenda, and we have a change to the agenda.
Yes, so for 6E, we need to add a budget amendment in the amount of $3,200. This is to cover 2 runs of newsletters, one in January and one in April.
Okay, just make a motion whenever you're ready.
Can we also add an amendment to discuss proceeding with the tower project?
Okay. And that would be under old business. 6F. All right, any other amendments anyone would like to make? All right. Make a motion whenever you're ready.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
All right. All those in favor? Thank you. Approval of the minutes for December 20th of the remote regular meeting minutes and January 3rd special meeting minutes. Look those over and make a motion whenever you're ready.
Don't make a motion, even though I was here on the phone. Yeah,
I guess so. You were here.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. All those in favor? Thank you. All right, we now come to public comment.
We only have one,
Everything.
Evelyn Nichols.
Yes, go on.
I just wanted to personally thank y'all for the bullying and the ranting and raving that I've seen online and at the previous meetings. And I want to thank y'all for continuing to, through all that, for continuing to represent very well the residents and the voters and the majority of the town of Hildebran. But I want to personally thank all of y'all very much because nobody should have to put up with that kind of bullying. And I mean, it was public. And like I said, I realize that, a lot of them are gone and that's fine. But I do want to thank y'all from my heart and a lot of other people that I'm speaking for, how much we could appreciate your continuance for standing up for what's right, and standing up for, like I said, the majority of the people of Hildebran. Thank you.
That's the only public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Number 6, old business. 6A, consider appointment to fill vacant council seat and oath of office. All right, and you have the applicants in your packet, and I will open it up for a motion. I guess we do a nomination. Open it up for a nomination.
I'd like to nominate Mark Struth.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none. Guess I'll need a motion then. Well,
Motion to close it.
motion to close the nominations, okay?
Yeah, I'll motion to close the nominations.
All right, thank you. So, Mike Stroop, I didn't vote, did I? All those in favor? How long have I been doing this?
Too long, obviously.
Okay,
Now we see the motion.
now we need a motion to appoint our nominee.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All right, Ben made the motion. All those in favor? All right, thank you. So now we have the oath of office.
Couple right here. Just if you come forward, Jeff Hildebran, raise your right.
Around there. And I'll come around to the front. And now I'm not made alone, so I mess this up. And I guess I can have one of those to read off of.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I, and fill in your name,
I, Michael Pruitt,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina
and be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina,
and to the constitutional powers and authorities
to the constitutional powers and authorities,
which are or may be established for the government thereof.
or therefore may be established for the.
I know, I'll try to make it short. That I will endeavor to support,
I will endeavor to support,
maintain, and defend
maintain, and defend
the Constitution and laws of said state,
the constitutional laws of said state,
not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States,
not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will be faithful to discharge
and be faithful to discharge
the duties of my office as council member
the duties of my office as council member
of the town of Hildebran.
of the town of Hildebran.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, Michael. I need
Come
you,
sign.
Do I sign something?
yes, I need Michael's sign here, 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 and then you'll sign below that.
Yeah, what I did,
Okay, I said I was no Mabel Loman. I didn't break that up right.
That's right.
And we've got you sitting over there on the end, and there's an agenda packet over there for you. Yeah.
Tom was supposed to be here.
What did I miss? I thought this was. What did I miss? Well, I know that, but I was supposed to be here at 7:15, because I had to turn in the application.
We left space there.
For the seat.
More
Okay, 6B, consider approval of zoning text amendments and ordinances addressing the modification of specific language related to Senate Bill 300, SL 2021-138, criminal justice reform. And that is in your packet. And Logan, do you have any comment on this?
I do not
Okay.
recommend.
Yeah, the bill was initially statewide adopted to change an awful lot of stuff that involved cities that have municipal police departments and stuff like that. That does not apply to us. The only thing that applies to us is it decriminalizes, to the extent possible, anything to do with nuisance and things of that nature. You can still take nuisance actions, but you cannot charge people penalties and criminal offenses. It's recommended to be passed. You have to pass it. The state's already done it. The government's approved it. We got to do it. But the very limited part that you see in here, review CTA 2022-1, that's the only part that really applies to us. This makes us consistent with all the other municipalities without police departments in the state of North Carolina.
Okay, any discussion?
Reverend, can you touch on the first one? The 3-111? I noticed that staff recommends the change, but the planning board recommends retaining it.
As to section D only, and that is, the section D is the one that's in red, in addition to a little, let me talk about it, violations of any of this may be prosecuted as a misdemeanor or otherwise in accordance with the general statute. You still take a warrant out somebody, you just can't take money from them. You can't do a per day fine and stuff like that. It's to take the money aspect away out of it. So this allows the town to still take misdemeanor charges against somebody for ongoing nuisance,
Okay.
All right.
which you almost have to have, but sometimes letters are just not necessarily enough.
They just ignore it.
Yes. A lot of times they come back unanswered, unopened.
So does that mean we're taking that part in red, that's gonna be
That,
taken out?
no, that will be contingent on.
Continue, okay.
Well, what we're amending is that section 3.11, A, B, and C.
Oh, okay.
Any other discussion? All right, I'll open it up for motion.
I'll make that motion.
It has to be, I'm sorry, but
Oh,
only
yes.
two,
Each one?
each
The
one,
same
yes,
certain
it
way.
has to be read just like that.
Okay. Okay, I'll make the motion to amend 3-111.
I mean, you have to, did you see that on the,
Okay, your name be, make the motion to town council, up to those living in ordinance, incorporate the town Hildebran, the entire paragraph as is, on your name.
this part here?
I got you.
You didn't know what you was getting into, man.
No, I had no idea. I've been Honeycutt, make the motion that the town council adopt the proposed zoning text amendment 2022-1 and incorporate into the town of Hildebran Code of Ordinances. The proposed text amendment is consistent with the recommendations of the Hildebran Comprehensive Plan, and the proposed text amendment is consistent with other officially adopted plans.
All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have, how many do we got? 3? No.
6,
How many?
6, I think.
6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you want to make a motion on the next one?
I guess the same form on page 3 of that.
Sure, I'll make that motion. You ready?
Yes, sir.
I've been Honeycutt, make the motion that the town council adopt the proposed zoning text amendment 2022-2 and incorporate into the town of Hildebran Code of Ordinances. The proposed text amendment is consistent with the recommendations of the Hildebran Comprehensive Plan, and the proposed text amendment is consistent with other officially adopted plans.
All in favor? All right. Next.
I'm not gonna make a motion on this. Jody York makes the motion that the town council adopt the proposed zoning text amendment 2022-4 and to incorporate to the town of Hildebran code of ordinances. The proposed text amendment is consistent with the recommendations of the Hildebran comprehensive plan, and the proposed text amendment is consistent with other officially adopted plans.
All in favor? Thank you.
Up to 4, didn't you?
Okay, we just did 4, so let's go back and do 3.
You're going back to do 3 now.
I'm sorry, I was.
Oh, did I miss one?
You said 4.
It's at the
I
bottom,
said-
it's at the bottom.
That works.
Doesn't matter what we're doing.
That works.
I missed a bit.
We got on secret. Aha, they tried to trick us.
You want to pay attention?
All right, I'll do it.
Okay,
I've been Honeycutt, make the motion that town council adopt the proposed zoning text amendment 2022-3 and incorporate into the town of Hildebran ordinance of ordinances, code of ordinances. The proposed text amendment is consistent with the recommendations of the Hildebran comprehensive plan, and the proposed text amendment is consistent with other officially adopted plans.
all in favor? Thank you. The next one's at the bottom of the page too. And the next one, okay, 2 more. Who wants to read it?
You want me to go ahead?
Go ahead, Ben.
All right, I've been Honeycutt, make the motion that the town council adopt the proposed zoning text amendment 2022-5 and incorporate into the town of Hildebran zoning ordinance. The proposed text amendment is consistent with the recommendations of the Hildebran comprehensive plan, and the proposed text amendment is consistent with other officially adopted plans.
All in favor? Thank you.
One last.
Come on, Jody.
We're on 6.
Uh-huh.
Jody York makes the motion that the town council adopt the proposed zoning text amendment 2022-6 and incorporate into the town of Hildebran subdivision ordinance. The proposed text amendment is consistent with the recommendations of the Hildebran comprehensive plan, and the proposed text amendment is consistent with other officially adopted plans. Excuse me.
All in favor? Thank you. All right, that's all those. We'll move on to 6C. Consider appointment to Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee Council Representative. So we have everyone except, we need one more council representative. Correct.
I'll be interested.
Yes. Who would like to jump forward?
You got one, Mike. Mike? Block.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Well, thank you. All right. Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Michael Street to the steering committee.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. 6D, consider appointments to Town of Hildebran committees, Vedic and Burke Economic Development. So, let's see, Logan, you said you would take Vedic.
Yes, so at our previous meeting, council did appoint me to the VEDIC board, but after speaking with the folks at BDI and at VEDIC, they advised it would be better if I took the BDI seat and then had someone else take the VEDIC seat.
Okay. So who would like to take Vedic?
I didn't mind being there, but it's just
It's
the middle of the day, it's hard to, when you work, it's hard to.
Understand.
And it doesn't have to be a council person,
Right.
would anybody have a problem?
Isn't that
Karen-
correct?
Correct, yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
Karen Robinson has done that in the past, if she would accept.
You're making that as a motion?
I make that as a motion.
So that's both Karen for the Vedic and Logan for the Burke
Oh,
Economic.
yeah, I got
Yes.
two.
Oh, I make a motion that we have Logan for Burke Economic Development Representative and Karen for the Vedic Valdez Town. Membership. Vedic.
Okay, I'll call it for a vote. Thank you. Okay, 6E that we added, Logan has created a very nice newsletter for us, and it's gonna cost to send it out, so we need a minute.
Yes, we need a budget amendment in the amount of $3,200. This will cover 2 runnings of the newsletters, one for this January and then one in April. It may not quite be that much, but that gives us just a little push.
And I guess y'all saw the sample of it, and I hope we can, feature one business every newsletter to, help our,
Or 2 or 3.
well, to help our businesses. I think we need to draw a lot to them. So anyone, yes,
Y'all make that motion for the budget amendment of $3,200.
okay, all in favor? Thank you. Then 6F, Tower Project.
Logan, did you get a chance to talk to the gentleman that was going to come out and sort of look at the area?
Not yet, just due to the snow that we had, I did push him back. However, we do have a meeting scheduled for this Thursday, a phone meeting. So that's something, once I do get with him, I can send that to council later this week, early next week, and then have an official report next month. And most likely have him, we were talking about Bob Smith of Italian Smith Architecture. So that would be who we're looking at to rebuild the tower, the architect. But yeah, he should be able to make the meeting next month to do a presentation for council.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to get moving on this as soon as possible. This issue is something I've had more people ask me about than anything else.
And it's just a sore spot. You know. All right, anything else, any other comment on this? All right, 7, new business, 7A, consider approval of flag banners. They are in your packet.
Yes, so we brought 3 different versions for council to consider. This is something we talked about in last year's budget, so we've already got it, the funds set aside. We just need council to choose which of the 3 they would like, put along the same route as our current town banners.
So we're already locked in to having them. We don't get to pay them whether or not we have them.
No, I mean, we haven't purchased them yet, so if you would prefer not to do the patriotic banners, yeah, we could forego that.
But you take down the, like, whenever you change them, you take down the banners that are up now and you put up these flag banners.
Yes. Yeah, they would run, I believe, from, May to September, summer months.
Well, not to be unpatriotic, but I don't think that's a necessary expense. It's not a ton of money, but it's just money we don't need to spend.
How does the rest of the council feel? Anyone else have a comment?
Well, that's what I was thinking, that would change them out and have,
You can disagree.
I'm going to.
I mean, can we look at,
Around.
can we look at putting some kind of flags up for that time period? Not necessarily these, but purchase regular flags somewhere that's nowhere near this price?
We did look at that, we did a cost analysis, and in the long run, these will be cheaper. This will be cheaper because you'll have to buy the hardware for the flags, and those flags won't last as long because they won't be, these are just more stable. They're gonna last you a whole lot longer. Once you buy them, they should last you for years, whereas the other, like American flags that you just buy, you'll have to replace more. So, plus we already have all the banners, the hardware. So, yeah, we did look at that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone, any other discussion? Anyone want to make a motion?
I just want to ask
Oh,
one
sure.
question. Are we talking about all 3 of these, or will all of them be the same? I mean, if we're gonna change them out, are we looking at buying 3 different versions of a patriotic flag, or is it just gonna be the one?
Yeah, You would be selecting one of these three, just one.
That's wrong. That'd be throughout the whole town, or Hildebran.
Now, I mean, if you do wanna mix them up, there is the possibility to do that. They're the same cost per banner. I think
Yes.
is the Hildebran banner the one with our name slightly more?
He said it was the same.
Okay, yeah, so you'd be looking at the same price whether you wanted to intermix them or just go with one. I think we're at 48 total banners.
You the whole 60. Security.
60's right up with-
I like the one that Hildebran on it, gonna fly it. It's gonna have her name on it too.
Yeah, I like it also.
I'll make the motion, we get the, we go with the banner on Hildebran on it.
Okay, that one.
Mhm.
Okay, is there any other discussion? All right, all in favor? All right, opposed? All right, thank you. 7B, consider approval of a resolution consenting to the addition of Miller Creek subdivision to the secondary road system of the state of North Carolina.
Yes, so the owners of Miller Creek subdivision have petitioned the NCDOT to take over ownership and maintenance of their roads. DOT followed up with the town by requesting this resolution in support of them adding Miller Creek subdivision to the state's secondary road system. Given DOT's willingness to take over the subdivision, staff advises the council approve the attached resolution.
Any discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay, 7C, discuss Cardiff Award for Royal Park. Logan.
Yes, so this is the good news. I think we waited patiently on. So on January 14th, the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources announced Part F's second round of grant recipients. We were informed that we did receive our full grant request at $289,700. This time, we cannot begin spending any money on the project until we're under contract with the state. However, our consultant, Judy Francis, she did inform us last week that the state has started working on these contracts. They just haven't got them out yet, but they should be in touch sometime soon. And the only other thing I wanted to do on this is Beth Holly. She's here tonight. She is one of the North Carolina Parks and Recreation Trust Fund board members. I think it's fair to say that our council members, as well as myself, are extremely grateful to her and the Park Authority Board for their decision to include Hildebran in the second round of grants. And then just as a side note, she also serves as the president of Valdez Rec, and she's been instrumental in a number of projects, Parks and Rec wise, that have happened in Burke County. So sometime during and after the meeting, if you want to go up and introduce yourself, that would be a good idea.
And thank you.
Yes, oh yeah,
That
absolutely.
would be even a better idea.
Okay. Did you have anything to say at this time? or-
Well, I just wanted to congratulate you all on receiving the award for the application. I know it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to put that in. And I also just wanted to brag on Logan, like how involved he's been in the whole process. I am a member of the state part of board, as Logan said, and I was appointed by Speaker Moore, and it's a 9-panel group from across North Carolina. And I live in Valdez. I was born and raised in Valdez. I was a Zimmerman, if you're trying to figure out if you knew who I am. I graduated in '86 from East Burke High School. But Logan was always there, not irritatingly, but making sure everything was going okay with the Cardiff grant and what the process was. In June of last year, I brought our State Parks Director, Dwayne Patterson, to Burke County to see what all we had to offer. And Logan helped me get a private tour of the Henry Mill River Village for him to see. And then on a Thursday evening, we had a reception at Whippoorwill Farm out at Lake James. And I invited all the local government managers to attend. Logan was one of only 2 across the county who attended. So I was very pleased with that. And I passed on the information to Representative Blackwell, who we've been working with the Burke River Trail, which will flow from Morganton to the Hickory Trail system and touch down in Hildebran. And because Logan had been so supportive of us and working with us, there's a direct appropriation in the budget that'll come through the COG for Hildebran to work on trails. So I just hope you know what a gem you have in Logan. Like, he is out there constantly learning, talking, networking, communicating, doing everything that's asked of him and beyond. And I think you have a lot to be grateful for, and having Logan here as your manager. And I look forward to coming to groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings for this project.
I may have towed the line on the annoying.
Just barely from what I was told.
Okay, all right, that's all the discussion on the part of.
Yes.
We'll go on to 7D, January Facilities Report. Is in your packet. I don't know if there's any comment needed to be made there. Okay. 7E, December tax report. That is also in your packet. Seven F, December deputy report, in your packet.
Any activity up at the park?
Actually, we've had a really good couple of past months. Just a sideline note there, the sheriff's department is experiencing no more than anybody else is shortages. We've been asked to help assist cover the road quite a bit here lately. Doesn't mean that they receive priority over the town, because town comes first, town's got priority. But I have been answering calls outside of town, just to let you know that that's just a short term. Redmond's familiar with all that, I believe. Everybody is in a crunch right now. So.
Are we still short on deputies? That was something you mentioned.
Yes.
And it's tough being a cop, right?
That's terrible. I love it though.
County Spring Deputy's also called out.
Oh, yeah.
He done it well. Did you read the article in the Hickory Record? That
He said,
Scott,
I should have been a
brother.
firefighter.
that he retired as a police officer from Hickory,
Good.
wrote a fantastic. You need to, if you hadn't read it,
Okay.
what day was that in?
Sunday.
Sunday, paper,
Okay.
yeah. You need to read it.
Redmond, you have something?
The County Springs deputy's also being called out, just like Gary is. The sheriff's department is short of road deputies, the jail is even more short staffed. It's just hard to find qualified applicants for law enforcement here and everywhere else, Burke County and Pawtucket. Hickory has a crime shortage with the brothers retiring and others. It's just tough right now.
All right. 7G committee reports. Technical coordinating committee. Is there anything there?
Nothing to report right now. We did begin work on the, our Main Avenue East sidewalk project. That's something we did fill out the agreement with. We submitted that to the state. However, it looks like it's gonna take them about 6 months to get back to us just to get that project started. So that, we talked about a 2022 right-of-way and preliminary engineering timeline with construction in 23. That may be 2023 right-of-way preliminary engineering and 2024 construction, just as an update. That's all.
Joe, you've been appointed to the Transportation Advisory Committee, but you've not had a meeting yet. All right, the policy board delegate.
The meeting is tomorrow night. Mike's gonna attend it for me.
Okay. Burke Economic Development, that is vacant. Recreation and Tourism. Water Resource Committee. Vetted. And Burke Library Board of Trustees. We had a meeting since our last town meeting. Just a few things. The door count is down at the libraries because of COVID, obviously. but the e-books remain steady. Fines and fees are down, which is a source of income for the library, so the county is going to have to make that up. And I spoke before about the program where you can get a book from any county library in North Carolina. Well, the company that delivers those books was giving a special rate, and they've stopped giving that anymore. So that's adding to the expenses of the library. And also, Jim Wilson pointed out a problem. It's not a problem at our library or Valdez, but it's a problem at Morganton. And the problem is vagrants in and around the library.
Yes, sir. We have an
Man.
officer that goes by every day.
Uh-huh.
So,
He said if anybody had any suggestions, to let it know. I think we suggested a security guard, but that would be another salary and benefits. And then somebody suggested off-duty police. So I don't know what the answer is, but
put them to work.
Huh?
Put them to work.
oh yeah. All right, so that's all our committee reports. And okay, any other business?
Yeah, what's the deal on the, on our garbage? Did they quit or? They cut it out or?
It's all up to you.
How much do we take off the bill for this 2 weeks?
We were initially told by Republic and Simply Green that it was gonna be a day delay, but then we did end up getting notification later that week that it was just gonna be a week behind. So one of the things they did do is normally they don't allow you to stack anything or pack the cards so full that you can't close the lid. They did allow people to stack that beside or on top of the container. So anyone that called, I don't know if we put that on Facebook or not, but anyone that did raise a question, we did inform them they could do that.
Oh, they don't raise that nothing on top.
No, normally
If
absolutely
you do,
not.
if you do, they'll shake it, drop it off on the ground, throw the rest trash, leave it laid in the yard.
They will make an exception. This one time.
That they should have made an exception this week.
I wish I'd known that. I went over to the dump. It's awful over there. Have to go.
Look, I have a question for you on the other business. What, the money that we got for COVID, through COVID, have we allotted all that money to be spent?
So we got 2 rounds of funding. The first round, yes, we did allot all of that and expanded. The second round, we have not allotted a penny yet. That's something that they only came out with the final rule this past month, which essentially said everything you can and cannot use it for. As a brief update, one of the pieces of good news we got, basically everyone around the country got, is anyone who received less than 10 million could take a standard allowance of up to 10 million, depending on how much you got. So we got 640. We could take this standard allowance of up to 640 and use it towards government services. Now, without getting into too much minutia, obviously we still need time to figure out exactly how we're going to use that. My plan was to discuss it at our budget retreat, probably sometime between our February and March meetings. This would be a big portion of it. However, the biggest thing is not necessarily what you can and can't use it for, but depending on what you use it for, the reporting and the ongoing tracking requirements. So it's something that everyone's still going through right now. We talked about it at length during the managers meeting this past Friday. But yes, essentially that did get opened up. I do feel like we had talked about possibly using it to match some of our part expenses. I do think that'll be possible. It's just gonna be how we allocate it, where, and then what kind of requirements are tracking it afterwards.
Reason I was asking the question, if I understand it right, your local fire departments and all did not get anything allotted to them. And I'm gonna I'll stand to say that the town of Hildebran has one of the best fire departments and first responders anywhere in the county. Matter of fact, probably anywhere in surrounding counties. If there's anything we could donate to our fire department for what they do, because they were not allotted a penny if I understood it correct, we ought to make some kind of contribution to them in some way.
That's definitely something we can look at. There are state requirements, and I've looked into this. We there's been questions asked of staff, could the fire department be given like a sub-award is what they're calling it. We could do that, however, we can only give them money for things that we would be able to buy if we had a fire department in town. In other words, there would have to be some requirements on their end to report back what they spend on, and we have to ensure that they do spend it on items that, you know, a municipal government could spend it on. So it's possible, but I would just ask at this time that, let's bring that up again at the budget retreat to allocate at that point, and give some more time to figure out exactly how we get through that.
Like I said, that's the reason I brought that up, because I just want, you know, it's something that needs to be looked at, because like I said, we have got one of the best around here.
Oh, absolutely.
I just wanted to update, Calvin's still waiting to hear back from the Magnolia Network on getting the document for the screening. So right now we're looking at Friday, February 25th at 7 o'clock for the screening in the auditorium. Also, Logan, I had someone ask me about park lighting, whether we could look at making part of those up there motion detector.
At the existing park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we've actually looked at that, and I believe council at some point, it was the previous council that talked about possibly adding lighting throughout the walking trail at the existing park. That's something we were gonna look at in the next year's budget and with COVID money. But in terms of just putting it kind of like around the depot, where I think we have the most issues, I thought we had already done that. Had that not
Yeah,
been?
the motion lights have not been put up.
They've not, okay, all right. So I will check on that, and we should be able to get those up quickly.
We've been talking about several times, because my thing is, if you got motion lights up there and somebody's prowling around up there every night, they don't need to be, they're gonna kick on, that's gonna let your cameras pick them up quicker. And, if you look up there, you can see them lights come on, you know, something's moving around somewhere up there.
Absolutely. Now, I do think we did put in, lighting up there. I think there were some lights out, and I thought we'd put lights up there. And it was my understanding we had to switch this out to motion detecting lights, but if we haven't, I'll check on that. We can have that done quickly.
Okay. And also, what's the status of the steering committee?
Now that we've got the final board member selected to go to that, Johnny Ware was from the con was waiting on us to get the final list to him so that he could reach out to all of the board members to set up times each month to meet. So once I send out to him tomorrow, he should be reaching out fairly quickly.
Okay, so they'll get a notice that they've been selected to be on the committee?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have just a couple of things. So I'm gonna, as far as events for the town, so I'm gonna go ahead and be working on the farmer's market, getting that information out to all our vendors. I'm gonna do June through September, which is what we did this past year, and it worked, you know, pretty well. Anything before or after that, we just did not have, we might have one person, and it just wasn't worth it for that. And we'll do it at the town hall parking lot again, since the municipal complex is still,
It's safe.
As far as the community yard sales, I don't see us doing that this year again because of the parking lot. And the craft show will just have to be on hold for now. We don't know where we'll be with the parking lot or COVID numbers or anything like that yet. And Jody and Ben, I just want to remind y'all have your essentials and municipal government class this week. There was an email that came out today with instructions. And Mike, you will have to take that.
Again.
I don't know if they're doing another online one or not. I'll find out and I'll get back again.
Logan, can you go ahead and give everybody the good news about the apartment?
The
situation?
apartment,
Yes, sir.
currently right now, from what I understand, are you talking about the new development,
Yes, sir.
senior? As it looks right now, that did not get submitted. The property owner and the developer did have an agreement. However, there was something that came up last minute with the property owner, wanting to postpone that.
Okay.
So now that's something they're talking about looking at again next year, but as of right now, that did not get submitted.
I have one suggestion of the Confederate flag that's across from CVS. It's been brought to my attention that the town banners, there's one directly under that Confederate flag that says honoring the past.
I understand.
And we might want to think about switching that out because that's not the past we really want to honor. People notice those things.
Is that on a town pole?
Yes.
Not the Confederate flag, but the,
The town
Yeah,
banner
the banner.
that's right under it.
We have another Confederate flag in town. I don't know if y'all seen it.
Big one?
No.
Oh, where is it?
Parker Painting.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
What, I didn't hear that.
Parker's Painting has
Yeah.
one.
Right in front of there, they have the American flag and then a Confederate flag.
Well, people have called me and complained.
Yeah, I wish there's some way we could really publicize that that is not the feeling of the majority of the Hildebran citizens.
Any other business? All right, any announcements? All right,
I'll make that motion.
to adjourn,
Yes, sir.
all in favor? This was a 45-minute meeting.
No.